It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Patrick Paes.
I'm Ed Lingao, and some headlines that we should be bringing you in a few minutes, but we shall skip that for now because we're having some issues. Pero pakilala muna natin. I thought, here we go. Some stories we're watching this Friday, September 20. The Pasig RTC Branch 167 has ordered the arrest of former Bamban Mayor Alice Go that's over her non-bailable qualified human trafficking case. The court also orders her transfer from the PNP custodial facility in Camp Crame to the Pasig City Jail. Meantime, Go's arraignment in Valenzuela for her graft and corruption case has been postponed today. Yang Jianshin, known as Tony Yang, was arrested at the NAIA Terminal 3 as an undesirable alien. He's the brother of Michael Yang, the economic advisor of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Tony is a Chinese national who had assumed the Filipino name Antonio Magistrado Lim. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission suspects that Yang was just about to flee abroad when he was arrested.
Former Senator Leila de Lima will run in the 2025 elections as the lead nominee of the Mamamayang Liberal Party list. Okay. The new party list of the Liberal Party. ML is the sectoral wing of the Liberal Party that the traditional opposition coalition just launched. Joining her as co-nominees are former Representative Teddy Bagilan and LP Vice President for External Affairs Erin Tañada. And Erin Tañada revealed that former Vice President Leni Robredo will run for mayor of Naga City. Robredo's 2022 running mate, former vice presidential candidate Kiko Pangilinan, will, for his part, seek a Senate seat, but I think he won't be running under the LP, but under a new party that he formed with, is that right, Ronald? With Bam Aquino, Kiko.
No, Bam Aquino will be running in a new party. Kiko will be running as Liberal Party.
Oh, so he's staying with the Liberal Party. Joining us today, Ana Marie Pamintuan of the Philippine Star and Storycon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday.
Ami, shocking ka naman ngayon.
Dilaw na dilaw, Ami.
Kasabay mo ako eh.
Segue doon sa Liberal Party, ano?
Kasabay mo National Council meeting ng Liberal Party ngayon.
Mukhang tatanungin nga kita, Ronald, ano ba nangyayari? Mukhang wala na yata liberal, ha?
Hindi naman ako, never naman ako naging liberal eh.
Dali lang, baka maniwala tao,
marami kang kakilala doon. Ano na nangyari?
Baka maniwala tao bago lahat, ano? Ami, baka maniwala tao. Coincidence lang yan, suot mo na dilaw.
Oo, baka mamaya eh.
Coincidence lang yan.
Baka mamaya may yellow tag ka eh. Mas matindi yun kaysa red tagging, yung yellow tagging.
Hindi naman ako kapolitiko, okay lang.
Yes, oh.
Grabe yung tanong ni Ami, no? Tanong ni Ami, parang wala na atang liberal. Parang medyo delay na tayo.
Hindi kasi party list na yan eh. Paano yan party list? Oh.
Mamaya
Hindi
tanongin
ko
mo
kumustahin nga natin.
Mamaya tanongin mo si Leila de Lima. Ami, baka mag-guest siya rito eh.
We're trying to call her,
kailangan-
Ami. Maybe she might, if she's free, I think she's in a meeting right now. And if
Yeah.
she's available, she will pick up our call. And maybe we can ask her those
Oh, yan, nakadilaw din, oh.
Ayun, oh.
Erin yata yun eh.
Parang where to? Na?
Ah,
From a ruling party to a party list party.
Yan.
Oo nga eh.
Pero,
You don't agree, Ronald. You don't seem to agree with this move. Ayan.
Parang wala naman ako sa posisyon para mag-agree o mag-disagree.
may tanong si Joe Bilang Francisco, better chances ba? Kasi kung party list lang, you need only what? A million or less to get a party list seat these days eh.
Or then again, baka maskip. Also, sa party list.
Ang dami kasi
Ang dami.
ang dami ngayong party list. No? Halos maraming mga governors, congressmen, may sarili rin sila party list. Tapos yung mga non-marginalized sectors katulad ng mga tawag dyan, yung mga contractors, meron din silang party
tricycle
list.
driver, security guard.
Halo-halo na eh.
LPG.
Si Mikey Arroyo nga, merong security guard party list, di ba? Natin na election.
Oo nga.
So,
Oo.
hindi mo na alam, hindi na to yung original marginalized party list system nung nagsimula ito nung 98. No?
Pero going to Joe discussion
Puro mga mayayaman lang ngayon yung mga party list eh. Mga Mga kasing yaman na ni Joey Francisco ngayon eh. Mga party
Pero
list.
going on to Joby's question, is there a bigger chance to get into a party list seat than, for example, for the LP people to run for a seat in Congress in the district level or the Senate?
Depende. Kung halimbawa, nasa Batanes ka, kailangan mo lang ng mga 7,000-8,000 vote para maging kongresista. Depende sa size ng district. Sa party list, depende kung ano yung total number ng votes cast for the party list, tapos kukunin mo rin yung 2% para makakuha ka ng 1 seat. At depende rin yan kung mapupunuan yung 56 seats. Based dun sa 2%. Alam ito nakaraan or ito mga previous party list, maraming hindi nakakuha ng 2% pero nakapasok.
Okay, but let's be specific with the Liberal Party. Given its condition, its situation, is this its best option to for 2025?
What is its condition?
Ikaw, baka alam mo.
Baka si Ami, alam yung condition.
Pero mas madali siguro considering, remember super majority ngayon yung ruling group lakas yan saka yung Partido Federal Siyempre at the local level, kahit merong mga lugar na malakas ng liberal, halimbawa Iloilo dati, malakas talaga diyan yung Dilaw, di ba? Pero ngayon talagang nagka-watak-watak na at ang lakas-lakas ngayon nung administrasyon Yung Partido Federal nagsama sa lakas, naging super nationalista pa, nagsama-sama na sila so medyo mahirap. Siguro mas madali nga kung susubukan na mag-party list na lang, di ba?
Si Congressman Kimbo
kasi meron lang may number lang na required, di ba?
Si Congressman
Number
Kimbo
of votes.
na dati stalwarts ng Liberal Party until this year ay lumipat na ng lakas sa NUCD.
Yun na nga
Pero nung nasa Liberal Party pa siya yung proponent ng Maharlika Bill at yung People's Initiative, no? Na yung Liberal Party, yung partido niya ay opposed habang siya ay miyembro, no? So
Okay. But looking at this move to have a Liberal Party list, okay, won't this be the best way to harness yung sinasabi ng pink wave? Kasi mas national yung makukuha mong
Baka mahirapan
boto.
sila.
Ganon.
Baka
Baka mas mahirap kasi pag ang bakbakan mo sa
baka mahirapan
distrito.
sila dahil yung pink wave are composed of different party lists. Mismo nga si Leila de Lima, tumakbo siya as an independent, not as Liberal Party. No? Dahil nga, yung pink wave ay diverse forces yan Hindi yan mga liberal. So, yun yung isa. No? Ikalawa, alam naman ng Partido Liberal, yung essence ng party list ay pang marginalized, na na-bastardize na. Sila ba ay sasama dun sa bastardization ng party list system? Mismo nga yung mga ruling parties katulad ng Lakas, PDP Laban, Partido Federal ay hindi nag-field ng party list. No? Although their allies are merong mga party
That
list.
sounds like a slight rebuke of this move by the
Hindi
Liberal
naman,
Party.
it's just an observation. Di ba, Ami? Observation lang. No?
So Ronald, ano yung sagot sa'yo ng mga kaibigan mo?
Hindi ko naman sila tinatanong Tapos ako rin.
Pwede mo, ikaw pa, hindi ka nagtatanong.
I refuse. Sabi nga ni Alice Go, I refuse to answer because my answer might incriminate.
The right against self-incrimination.
yan.
As in the Constitution.
Or
The Bill of Rights.
kay Mo Kauson, I refuse to answer because my answer might discriminate me.
Ay, totoo ba yan? Hindi ko nabalitaan yan.
Sinabi niya dati yan. Tatakbo siya ngayon kay Isko sa Manila.
Konsyal. Ikaw talaga yung mga hirit mo talaga. Pangkalawakan talaga hirit mo. Yung mga tao mo kalawat gano'n. Matutulog na tayo dito.
Si Joby Francisco kayo, may mga tanong sa gilid-gilid Yun ang problema rito
Dito, sa gilid ko.
But seriously, I'm sure you've had conversations with your friends. Hasn't it been brought up? I mean, is this real politics? What is it?
You know, technically you're not Liberal Party, right?
Yeah.
Technically and essentially.
Essentially. But you are Akbayan. You know, you founded Akbayan Party List, one of the original party lists in our system. We all know that Akbayan has a very close relationship with the Liberal Party. So, ano ba yung mga conversation dyan sa grupo na yan?
Wala akong latest na conversation
Ayun.
No, dahil
Anong sabi ng
ang
Vice...
latest na conversation ko sa mga wag po at saka Storycon.
Ayun. Ano yung sabi sa iyo or ano yung naging pag-uusap mo ng co-chairman mo? Co-chairperson.
Hindi kami nakapag-usap eh. Hindi kami nakapag-usap. Very busy sila eh. Very busy sa...
Pero si Chel Jokno, lumipat na sa inyo.
Yes, wala naman siyang political party dati.
Okay.
Wala naman siyang political... Kaya okay lang yun. Wala naman siyang political party.
He was just identified with the Liberal Party. Okay, with the, let's call it yellows, ano?
Yeah.
Pero for now, he is officially affiliated with Akbayan.
Yes,
And it seems that he would be taking a seat.
Well,
he will be a nominee.
depende sa 28. Mag-28 yata magpapasya ang bayan.
28 pa? Hindi.
Itong September 28.
Okay,
This September
okay.
28.
So malamang midterms, you might see Chel Jokno
Well,
as a
depende.
nominee.
He can run as senator as Akbayan. He can also run as party list as Akbayan. So, ang sayang lang kay Leila because si Leila ay parang most opposition groups, parties, movements, ang tingin sa kanya parang their Mandela. They look at her as the leader of everybody sa opposition, at least sa pink. No? Ngayon ay leader na siya ng isang political party who is only part of the opposition.
Okay.
So baka hindi na siya ma-identify as the unifying figure para sa buong opposition.
Wouldn't it have been simpler if Leila de Lima just joined Akbayan? Like Chel Jokno?
Hindi. Tingin ko si Chel kasi ay pwedeng a partisan candidate. Si Leila is better as a Mandela, as a unifying force.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now that she's
Not
a
anymore.
nominee of...
Yeah. So, medyo magsosolo si Risa for that function, for that role. No?
Ronald, si Jed Mabilog, anong political plans niya?
Hindi ko
Medyo
alam, pero
nag-high
Liberal
profile
Party
siya
yan.
ngayon eh.
Pero Liberal Party yan,
Oo.
malapit yan kay Jerry Treñas, na mayor ng Iloilo.
Yes.
Malapit yan kay Trilon, Frank Trilon. So, hindi ko alam kung anong partido niya ngayon. Dahil kakaunti na lang kasi natira sa Liberal Party eh. Yung 4 o 5 ay nasa majority, yung 2 ay nasa minority, at isa ay independent minority, si Ed Selagman, yung party president.
Okay, for all intents, Ronald, the Liberal Party is more or less a family franchise of the Rojas family. Si Mar Rojas ba, is he totally detached already?
Mukhang hindi.
Not involved
Dahil
in the LP?
Si Mar kasi ay hindi na active eh.
Oo.
No,
So wala na talaga.
mas active siya doon sa 2 niyang anak.
Yun,
No,
kay
si
Pepe
Pepe and Pilar. No?
At
Yung
saka
last time,
active ata doon sa...
tinatanong ko yung
Hindi, yung isa niya
binanggit si
anak.
Mar ni
Mukhang naghahanda tumakbo sa
as
congressman.
Congress. As
Yes, si
Congress.
Paulo...
Sa Rojas.
Paulo, I think
Sa Rojas
Paulo?
District. Yeah.
Paulo Rojas. Right.
Yun. Baka yun yung magiging sayon nila.
Yun.
No?
May political color na yung blue.
Yes, yes. Pero si
The family
Mar,
color, right? The family political
pero si Mar
color.
himself hindi na ganun ka-active. No? Maliban
Is
sa...
Paulo Rojas running under the LP?
hindi ko alam. No, hindi ko alam. Dahil hindi ako privy doon, dahil hindi naman ako member ng Liberal Party.
Yan, okay.
Kasi parang nag-high profile ngayon si Jed Mabilog, di ba? Among the developments ngayong araw, one of the stories sinabi niya he's willing daw to testify sa ICC against former President
Yes.
Rodrigo Duterte. So medyo nagiging national yung niya,
Dahil
yung profile niya.
pinipilit kasi daw siya na mag-testify na i-link si Mar at saka si
Against
Frank
Mar.
Drilon, no? Dito sa Tokhang, sa drug campaign.
Oo. Yan yung mga istoryang
Si Mar last
binabantayan
week
natin.
tumawag eh. Sabi niya, napanood niya yung ating episode nung about the debate. So, nagulat lang siya na
Nakaupo ka dito sa amin. Nakasama ka namin.
nagulat siya yung Keiko to talk about the US presidential debate.
Ayun.
Ano sagot mo?
Ako kasi sabi ko, wala na sila makuha eh. Sabi niya, pagbukas daw niya ng TV, ang nakita daw niya, ako nagsasalita tungkol sa US President.
Oo.
Tawag siya, sabi niya.
Hindi pa siya tumitingin sa YouTube kasi pag pumunta ng YouTube yun, makikita niya lahat ng mga political podcast, ikaw pa rin.
Nakikita
Ikaw pa
naman
rin,
niya. Nagtaka
oo.
lang siya, pati yung US presidential debate, pinatulang ko. Sabi ko, nabudol ako dito sa Storycon.
Because we'll be having a coverage.
Nagulat ako yun, tumawag siya last week.
Well, election day, we will be having a special coverage on election day, on the
Yes.
US elections. Pakikialaman natin yan kahit at Ronald will be sitting with us again. So ngayon pala sinasabi namin para
dahil
naka-blocking ka sa amin
Dahil
Yan,
yung Rappler at saka yung Binunaryo.
In demand eh.
kumuha ka lang.
Amir, in demand eh.
Nag-i-invite na yung dalawa.
Sabi nga ni
Mas
Judith,
masarap ang kape ron eh. Mas masarap ang kape sa Rappler.
sasarapan namin dito. Sabi sabi nga ni Junix Doronio, dati kasama natin. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes. Yes.
Ami,
Yeah, I
Junix
remember
Doronio.
him.
Oh, gwapo yun.
I remember him.
Nagtataka siya bakit daw always available.
Tatakbo.
Tatakbo rin Vice
Tatakbo
President.
daw akong Vice President. Nakita nga kami, diba, last month. Sabi ko, ugok ka ba? Tatakbo ako, hindi spare tire. Tatakbo ako, Presidente. Sabi ko, naniwala.
Alam mo, yung mga ganyan grupo, kaya nagbabiral, ha? Mamaya, kinakot ka na ng ano-ano. Itayin mo ng konti, mamaya. Lumalabas na yun sa
Hindi,
Facebook.
si Junex, gusto kong katabi lagi yan eh. Oo, pumapogi ako.
Sana ba si Junix? Hindi na, wala na sa media. Hindi na dyan
Sa media, meron siyang isang unknown media outlet.
Yan. Okay.
Hindi kasi dapat kunin yun. Dapat kunin kasi ng Philstar. Hindi naman kinukuha ng
Newscaster,
Philstar.
pwedeng newscaster.
Baka ma-cyberbullying na tayo.
Hindi rin siya pwedeng newscaster.
Oo nga.
Sa The Big Story. Ano?
Itabi mo sa tatlong babae. No?
Yun ang contrast.
Okay. Sa cyberbullying na tayo. Ito si Ron kasi itong ating analyst pangkalawakan eh.
Hindi naman ako woke katulad ni Ed. Na politically correct.
Learned ka lang, learned. Teka, pag-usapan natin.
Shift topic na tayo.
Meron rally bukas, hindi kasama dyan.
Ano, kung nandiyan si Harry, kasama ako.
Ano yan?
May isog indignation rally
Ano yan?
bukas
Ano yan?
to call for the resignation of BBM.
Dahil
Saan ito gagawin?
bukas.
Saan ito gagawin? It's Batolet o ano? O Davao?
Alin yun, alin? Hindi ko
May
alam
isog
yun.
indignation
Alin,
rally.
binabantayan namin yun. Puro mga aresto. Saka
Baka magkahulihan.
mga wanted, yung mga nahuli, yung mga wanted. Si Cassandra Leong, dinala sa Mandaluyong. Yung asawa daw ni, your favorite, Ronald. Yung asawa daw ni Mr. Harry Roque, mukhang nagpunta na Singapore. Yan yung mga balita ngayon. Oo. Pero si Harry hindi pa rin makita. Puro ganyan yung mga istorya nga. Of course, yung brother ni Michael Yang, si former Secretary Duque, nag-post ng bail. Yan yung mga istorya ngayon, puro ganyan.
Mas big story yung sa brother ni Michael Yang.
Okay.
Dahil maraming maraming linkages. Na-link siya doon sa Bamban Pogo, yung kapatid niya na-link sa mga drugs. No?
But is he facing any particular
No, immigration case lang siya.
Wala.
Okay. Undesirable alien lang.
Immigration case lang.
So anong ano niya? Anong what's the reason for detaining him and not just the
Deporting him, for example.
Yeah.
Deport.
Actually,
Deport.
kung,
Tsaka hindi yata dineclare yung ano niya, yung cash niya, napakalaki.
Kung
May
siya,
1.6 million yata.
Kung siya is an undesirable alien, usually deportation.
Deportation. Siguro detention and then deportation.
Baka i-dribble nila, patagalin muna rito until may magsampa bukas or sa Lunes, no?
Or baka
Nangyayari kasi yan.
patawag sa Kongreso. Ren.
Pwede rin.
Pwede rin ganon.
Pwede rin.
Kulang na ng witnesses kasi ayaw na magsalita ng mga witnesses ngayon sa Kongreso. Right?
Ano na lang eh. Naglalandian na lang eh.
Intriga tuloy ako doon. Ano ba yung nangyari doon?
Tanong natin sa guest natin mamaya.
I don't know if we have a video. Tanong
Yes.
natin mga producer natin kung meron tayong video ng ano.
Mali,
One of the
pakita yun.
highlights from yesterday's congressional hearing sa Quad Committee. I don't know, producer John, if we have, and we can show it para ma-enlighten
si Ed, eh.
ma-enlighten ang ating unlearned.
Yan.
Audio, please. Audio, please.
Kinilig yata si... may copyright. Hindi pwedeng ano.
Right.
Baka
Anyway, let's keep the video running pero i-describe, pag-usapan na natin yung sinasabi ni Congressman Dan Fernandez.
ano yung
sinasabi
balita
niya,
dyan?
kasi mukhang bagong tinabuhok mo, parang ganon.
Pati yung shampoo na pag-usapan
pati yung
eh.
shampoo, at saka ano yun.
Oo.
So, medyo may konting flirtation between the
So anong sagot ni Cassie?
Sabi, hindi.
Your Honor, kayo rin eh.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness to her, she was saying like, it's the same color, parehong kulay lang to, pero nagpakulot lang daw siya ng kon. DIY yung pagpapakulot.
DIY.
Si
Uy,
Senator.
sige.
Yeah.
Ay,
She's
sige, let's
na.
bring her in naman.
Yan.
Nabigla kami.
She's here na.
Well, surprise, surprise. We have with us right now former Senator Leila de Lima. Ma'am, nagulat kami bigla kayo lumitaw.
Good afternoon.
We're so happy to have you on board.
Oo,
Maraming
pinag-uusapan
salamat po.
namin yung lambingan ni Dan Fernandez at saka ni Cassandra Ong eh.
Do you want me to comment on that?
Oh, yes,
Pwede, pwede rin.
By all means.
No, I'd rather not. Yes, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat.
Yeah.
To Ami,
Good
to
afternoon,
Patrick,
Senator.
to Ami, to
Yeah.
Patrick, to
Yeah.
Ed, and to Sec Ronald. Pasensya na, I just came out from the event. And
Yeah.
that is the LP and the ML. This morning was the ML,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Mamamayang Liberal. And then in the afternoon at 1:30 was the Liberal, the LP National Executive Council meeting where several resolutions were passed.
Yes,
Long
ma'am.
time na
Including-
Senator. Kamusta ba kayo? Relax naman
Eto.
kayo ngayon? Nakapagpahinga? Oh.
Hindi.
Hindi
Sa
ka
totoo
nagpakulot,
lang,
parang si Cassie.
hindi. Because up until last night, I'm still doing discernment and doing consultations about my decision as to if it's a go for ML. Because I think narinig nyo naman dati,
Yes, ma'am.
I already announced that I am not running at all for any position, whether it's senatorial, party list, or any other elective position for next year. But then when I was going around and then meeting people, mga events, speaking engagements, and I'm always asked about that. So I would say, no, I don't have plans. But then some of my friends, some of my colleagues in the LP had urged me to consider, if not Senate, then a party list. Now, I assessed the situation. The pragmatic in me told me that I should go na lang for the party list instead of senatorial. Because,
Okay.
there is this sectoral wing of the LP, which was newly accredited by the COMELEC, although it has been in existence for several years already as the sectoral wing. It's a multi-sectoral organization. But it was only recently in July that the COMELEC and Bank granted the accreditation of ML as party list that can participate for next year's party list elections. And so the initial nominees, the first two nominees, were supposedly former Congressman Ted Bagilat and former Congressman Erin Tanyada. But then when they talked to me, and then, I manifested yesterday or the other day that I am seriously considering it, and I was glad to know that the two of them were willing to slide down to number 2 and number 3, so that I could take the first nominee, the lead nominee, and going over really what ML stands for, because as a sectoral wing of the LP, as I said, and this could be the platform where LP could further broaden its base through sectoral formations of various sectors, and bring it closer to the ground, to the community, to the marginalized. Kasi di ba yun ang mga palaging pinupuna sa LP na hindi daw masyadong nakaka-connect sa baba because may mga elitista daw. And all those labels thrown at LP in the course of the vilification campaign against LP, especially during the last administration. So through this platform of a party list, I can pursue further the main advocacy of social justice for all of these sectors side by side with promoting and pursuing the core values of the LP. Freedom, democracy, justice, social justice, anti-corruption, transparency, accountability, and good participatory governance. So yun po yung aking mga naging consideration, if I can help out. And then in the House of Representatives, I think we need more fiscalizers there. We see from the Senate that both houses actually are very busy now with all of these issues, with all of these inquiries, and probably we can anticipate that there would be more issues, more mga pagkakaabalahan ng mga tao especially mga national issues, and perhaps I can help out. Perhaps I can lend my voice in those inquiries and in pursuing again the legislation for the sectors that ML represents.
Ma'am, of course, we do understand what you're saying na it does seem to be more realistic, aiming for a party list position. Pero at the same time, aren't you also risking losing national standing, for example? Kasi siyempre iba yung party list eh. Iba po yung if you run for the Senate or if you run for any national position, medyo iba po yun. That seems to be quite a strategic move, whether it's a step forward or step back, I don't know. But hindi ba ang laking taya, ang laking sugal?
I'm not prepared to say, or I do not think at all that it will be diminution of the national stature. Because through the ML, through the party list, and through the causes that it would be advancing, the proposed legislation that it would be putting forward in relation, again, as I said, to the core values of the Liberal Party, then it actually all depends on me, on how to pursue those advocacies and how hardworking would I be in terms of, once again, proving myself as a public servant in a slightly different forum now, but it's still legislation, it's still advocacies. So I don't think I would have that concern about the possible diminution of
Senator,
my stature.
Senator,
Yes.
I understand that. What are the political calculations here? Because the bottom line is the Liberal Party needs to win. The elections are coming in, and the bottom line is you need to win seats, whether in the Senate or in the House of Representatives.
Yes.
What's the political
Yes.
calculation here? Does the Liberal Party feel that there's a stronger chance for the LP to win a seat through the party list system than running in the Senate, which appears to be a very, very tight race? Tight and
That
crowded.
seems to be the general consensus, and that is why so far, and it happened in the NECO meeting, the National Executive Council meeting this afternoon, that one of the resolutions passed was nominating Senator Kiko Pangilinan as the official candidate for LP, and right now he's the only official candidate for LP. Now it's being pragmatic about it. But you know how tight the race is for the senatorial. If you look at the surveys who are really there in the top 12, although we expect that there would be improvements on that, then why don't we just really put just one or two or at most three from the Liberal Party, and then maybe ally with other candidates allied to our causes. Our political allies, the parties, the Akbayan Party, and others like the Magdalo Party, etc. Now, it is a strategic move that in terms of the House of Representatives, the LP, through its sectoral wing, ML, would field more people, because right now we don't have that. For the ML, the sector, we have some district representatives, but not in the party list. And we feel that in advocating the advocacies of both ML and LP, LP would be more visible, LP would be more helpful, and LP would be more appreciated in terms exactly of what the contribution of the party is. Because to be honest, we are really struggling in the past few years. We need to reinvigorate. We need to rekindle. We need to re-energize or energize our ranks, especially the base. And it's just really proper and foreseeable that we will be relying on the Kakamping base, our base in 2022. Both for the LP candidate, national candidate, LP, senatorial, and for the House of Representatives through the party list ML, Mamamayang Liberal, and of course our local local candidates of LP.
Pero ma'am, wala
Senator.
bang ano? Ay, sige, go ahead first.
No, Senator, follow up ko lang yung tanong ni Ed about the diminution. Kasi among all the parties, of course, Liberal Party has always been identified with what we call the traditional or classic opposition, and everyone is asking what happened to this opposition. Kasi now we're seeing a new opposition, quote unquote, emerging, at hindi namin nakikita yung presence o hindi nararamdaman ng tao yung presence ng traditional opposition. And I want to ask you, ano na ba in your assessment ang status nga ng eto, yung tingin namin yung the pink wave na ngayon eto yung grupo nyo, the traditional opposition, what's happening? We don't even know kung sino ngayon ang leader nitong traditional opposition. Who is the leader right now?
The opposition leader right now, the de facto opposition leader, is actually Senator Risa Hontiveros. She is allied to our party. And LP remains to be a traditional political party. But precisely, we want to project a more dynamic national party. While it is a traditional party, we want it to be more dynamic and more receptive and more cognizant of the present situation, where two powerful blocs are fighting it out. Now, and that is why, sa pamamagitan nga ng ML, we can further add the presence and the visibility in the landscape, in the political landscape, through the ML, and reproject LP as the true opposition. And that is what we are, the true or genuine opposition, independent of these two warring political blocs. We want to do more, we want to be seen more, and we want to be appreciated more through more people running, and of course through this new party list of ML.
Ma'am, pero wala ho bang concern o worry kayo na magiging controversial itong desisyon ng LP to field dun sa party list? Kasi kahit pa paano po, LP is the former ruling administration party noong 2010, now running under a system that is supposed to provide a forum for marginalized groups. Now, I understand po, the Supreme Court naman ruled na pwede, provided
Yes.
a political party can show it represents the interest of the marginalized. But at the same time, it's still, wouldn't it also still leave leave questions for people na parang, paano yung mga marginalized talaga? Magsasaka, and so on down the line. Kasi for the longest time, di ba, political groupings have been masquerading as marginalized groups to get into the party list system. Wouldn't that also affect the image of the LP?
Let me clarify that the ML, while the sectoral wing of the LP remains to be, it has a separate, distinct personality catering to various sectoral groups. We do have sectoral groups from among the ranks of women, the marginalized sectors, women, youth, farmers, fisher folks, workers, IPs, and the main champion, of course, is our second nominee, Ted Bagila, and then LGBT and urban poor. We do have those sectors. So we need to really show more about LP's concern towards these marginalized sectors, and that these marginal sectors be further empowered through proposed for appropriate or necessary pieces of legislation that would further improve and improve and enhance the plight of these sectors. So it's not just about, yes, we are expanding the base of the LP, although our focus now is to regroup, reignite from the kakamping base. But then again, there are marginalized members, marginalized sectors. And through the ML, while we continue to push and promote and enhance the image of the Liberal Party, we shall be catering also and attending to the needs of the marginalized sectors covered by our ML.
Okay, Senator De Lima, one last question before we go. You still have a number of congressmen in the House of Representatives, some members, who seem to be siding with the administration. Is this cleared with the party? Is this a party position to align itself with the administration?
There is no such party position or inclination or plan to align itself with the Marcos administration. We are an independent opposition group. We are an independent opposition party, and that we engage in political discourses based on issues. So it depends on the issues concerned. And it just so happened that there are more issues that seem to be aligned with the position of the BBM administration rather than that of the Duterte group, the Duterte power bloc, especially now with all of these controversies, these issues, these revelations coming out in all those hearings, the Senate inquiries, the Quadcom hearings. Now, we can see how bankrupt the Duterte power bloc is. Ang daming mga lumalabas. Now, hindi kami pumapanig sa BBM administration for the sake of being politically allied with them, because we are not politically allied with them, because there are still issues that we hold them to account.
Officially.
Yes.
So, wala kayong balak na because I'm just asking this because former Senator Antonio Trillanes broached the idea na magkaroon ng alliance between at least some members of the Liberal Party and of course the Marcos administration. Talaga bang completely close na kayo to that proposal?
As of now, the LP leadership is not inclined to do that. Because how can we be an opposition if we align with them? And again, there are issues also. You know, we have core liberal members. We have really those who have been there during the martial law years and up to now. Then how can we ever explain that to them? Aligning this time with the previous the successor, the son of the previous dictator, where there are issues that are still unresolved. So it's basically on principles that we are not inclined to really align politically with the BBM group.
Okay, thank you for joining the Storycon, former Senator Leila de Lima.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you also for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ginagano ko na kasi magtatanong ko sana eh.
Ayaw.
Tito Ron.
Tahimik.
Mom's the
bakit
word.
Parang
Parang hindi ka convinced.
Hindi, kung na ako subdued.
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 Subdued lang.
Restrained.
No comment, no
Restrained.
comment.
Subdued lang ako.
Sige. Okay. Our next guest was supposed to come in, pero naputol yung linya. But we're trying to get him back. We're talking about, of course, former Cebu Mayor, Tommy Osmeña.
Masingit lang, si Tonyo Velasco nanonood. One of the masugid na taga.
Tony Velasco?
Natin. Tonyo Velasco.
Si Tonyo.
Sabi niya, behave ka raw.
Di
Behave
ba?
daw si Ronald. Minsan lang yan. Usually, pag napapagalitan ako, behave din siya.
Papanik.
Okay, let's call in our next guest for today. Former Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña. Welcome to the Storycon, Mayor.
Thank you.
Hi, Mayor.
Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon, Mayor. Long time no see.
Yan.
No, see. Okay.
No
Kasama
here.
namin si Tito Ronald
No
Llamas,
here.
former presidential political advisor. Sir, yung binanggit po ninyo dun sa Quadcom na na may report sa 1 million na weekly payola for illegal gambling na tatanggap si Garma. Would you be able, do you think, to substantiate that further down the line? I think this was when she was still in Davao City, if I recall
Cebu.
correctly.
Huh?
I don't think I understand your question, but let me tell you what I tried to
Yes, sir.
explain. Garma said before the committee, when she was asked, why is Tommy Osmeña against you?
Mm-hmm.
She said, it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
So yung sabi ko sa committee, I don't know her from Adam. Okay? But when she was going to be appointed to Cebu City as chief of police, of course I have a natural interest, no?
Of course.
And somebody gave me a report from the PCSO official that stated that when Garma was CIDG chief in Bohol, she was suspected of collecting 1 million pesos a week from illegal gambling. That's why I didn't want to accept her, because of course I just want to protect the people of Cebu. So I showed them that the document that I was able to recover in my Facebook through all the years to explain to the committee. That's why I didn't like her. And you know, if you are going to be appointed as chief of police, you need approval from the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't bother to get approval from the mayor. So I complained directly to President Duterte, personally in Malacanang, to specifically complain about her. And President Duterte told me, why don't you just tell Bongo, who was beside him, who was present, everything, and we'll look into it. So I prepared documentation for Bongo, and of course nothing happened. And somebody told me, don't touch the president's women.
Oh.
And I said, what? Yan na nga.
Okay.
Na sinabi rin ni
Mayor,
Montulfo.
who told you that don't touch the president's women? May we know who told you that?
No, I cannot tell you. He'll be killed.
Or he won't be killed. It's a new administration. Mayor, it's a new administration.
Let me explain. Let him explain.
Yes.
He is also
Yes.
the same person who said that she's going to be PCSO chief.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Okay.
And
good
she
track
was
record
still,
yung ano eh.
she was still just a police officer
Illegal gambling.
at that time.
Mhm.
And I had made a statement to the media
Yes.
even before she was appointed to PCSO chief, that she is going to be the PCSO chief, because my source told me that. And after a few weeks, she resigned from the police department, and in 2 weeks, she was selected to be the PCSO chief, and PCSO lost 80 billion pesos. You know, she's worse than the police, let me tell you.
Okay.
She's worse
Mayor,
than Napoles.
those
Why is
80
that,
million
Mayor?
pesos.
What do you mean by that,
Huh?
that she is worse than Napoles?
The police, the police, you all know, it's common knowledge that congressmen and senators eat out of the hand of Napoles.
Yes.
Well, I said, Duterte eats out of the hand of Dharma.
Wow.
So I think that's worse. No?
Yeah.
And if you also consider that the committee discovered that PCSO has lost 80 billion pesos under Garma. That's bigger than all the losses of Parmalee and what Napoleon stole in pork barrel combined. But if you look at Garma, she shows you all of the tears, so you'll pity her. I said, she's dangerous. Don't let her tears deceive you. She's very dangerous. Many of my people have been hurt, tortured, and killed. Not only my people, but the Cebuanos at large. And I will explain that in the next hearing.
Mayor, how would you...
Mayor mentioned, okay, go ahead, sige.
Mayor, na-curious ako doon sa sinabi niyo kanina that the president eats out of Garma's hand. Can you qualify that? Or can you expound further on that? What exactly do you know?
Parang literal yun.
Hindi naman literal. Ikaw naman.
I will explain that in the next hearing. No, you're not the Quadcom, you know.
Okay.
I will explain. They will ask me questions under oath in the next hearing, and I will answer questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's answer.
So we will wait for that.
Abangan namin, sir.
Mayor,
Okay.
you mentioned documents. You mentioned documents that you submitted to Malacanang about Garma. Could you give us an idea what those documents were?
I will mention that also. Anyway, I submitted documents, and if the committee asks for it, I will show them to the committee.
On another topic, Mayor, what are your plans, political plans in Cebu for yourself?
I do not like to discuss my political plans. I'm really withdrawing from politics. I am phasing out. I'm only running for vice mayor just to be the flag carrier of the group that wants to institute changes in government. I'm not like Manny Pacquiao, or I'm like Manny Pacquiao who cannot go 12 rounds anymore. So I'm like Freddie Roach. I'm just the advisor.
Okay.
Matanda na tayo.
Okay.
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 Okay, thank you for
Okay.
joining the Storycon, former Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
A lot of quotable quotes before we say goodbye. Ano? Ito lang, ano? I was trying
Eating
to
out of
send
the
leads to our digital producer. No? Ang dami. Don't touch the women's president. Don't touch the president's women. Okay? She's worse than Napoles. And the president eats out of Garma's hands. Okay. 80 billion supposedly was lost by the PCA.
Literal kaya yan o
So,
figurative?
but of course, when we try to press for more details or
Sa
documentary
Quadcom na
evidence,
daw siya.
ang sabi niya, we're not Quadcom.
He'd rather...
Classic.
Oo.
Classic.
Tama nga naman.
But
Doon siya magpaliwanag sa House of
He'd rather sit
Representatives.
under oath, sabi niya.
Yeah.
Right. Tama naman.
Which
Apat
also
lang
makes
tayo,
sense.
hindi Quadcom.
Tayo marites lang eh.
Unlearned tayo. Unlearned.
Saka wala
You have to remind
siyang
yourself.
political plans aside from running for Vice Mayor of Cebu.
With who?
With Garcia.
With the Garcia Group. Okay. So thank you
Garcia.
for joining the
Yeah.
Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit na medyo restrained. Kahit Biyernes na, medyo pigil.
Ganda yung klima eh.
Namumutla ka, parang hindi mo may labas na gusto mong sabihin eh.
Ganda yung klima oh.
Teka, pinapalis na tayo. Just to Monday at 4 p.m. for the Storycon. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Patrick Paez. We are One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.